All right, I think I'm live. Hey, good evening. Good evening. This is Cindy Baker, ADHD productivity coach, and we're doing another episode of Monday Night Live. And I forgot to bring my phone over here to do a tech check, so I'm hoping that you can see and hear me okay. In fact, if you are jumping on live, if you could say hi in the chat, at least the Facebook chat, that would be great. And if you're watching the replay, a lot of people do, then just say hashtag replay. Let me know that you are here this evening, that you're interested in this topic. We're going to talk about focus, how to get and stay focused on your work when you have ADHD, right? Nobody with ADHD struggles with focus, right? No, I'm just kidding. I don't like that term attention deficit because we don't have a deficit of attention. We are paying attention to 8 million things at one time. We just need to narrow in that focus. So that's what we're going to talk about. So whatever platform you're watching on, whether it's YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, if you could just say hi in the chat, let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm in a suburb of Memphis, Tennessee, and I love giving you these little tips. And I'm the founder of Cindy Baker Coaching and the Ultimate ADHD Success Blueprint, which is my awesome group coaching program for professionals that kind of struggle with maybe organization and time management, like you're successful, but you just need to get over that hump to manage that overwhelm and get a little more productive and less stressed out. So if that's you and you are interested in talking to me about whether coaching would be a good fit, I would encourage you to reach out. You can email me at cindy@cindybakercoaching.com, and we'll jump on Zoom and chat and see if it's a good thing for you. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. I think this is a good topic because everyone, whether you have ADHD or not, kind of struggles with focus, I think. So if you're stressed out, you're overwhelmed, you're frustrated, maybe you're not able to finish what needs to get done. Maybe you just feel like you need a break or something else to help you keep your focus. I know people in the morning, they'll be on their third cup of coffee and they're just still mindlessly scrolling on their phone. And they're like, this is not working. And this being, focusing on their work, what they're actually supposed to be doing. It's a daily struggle when you live with ADHD. And especially if you happen to be working from home, which a lot of people are right now. But even if you're in an office setting, your mind can wander. You're prone to want to do like avoidance behaviors and not what you're supposed to be doing. So if you're wondering what you can do to boost your focus without having to, download some complicated email app or rearrange all your cupboards or something like that, I'm going to give you just some quick tips that might be helpful for you. Might be just the lift that you need to get back on track. And since you're probably procrastinating already on something you're supposed to be doing, you might as well listen to this and learn something while you're at it, right? So, all right. Now, the first one is not something I'm doing right now because my little office area is in a room attached to our kitchen that doesn't have a door. But if at all possible, my first tip is close the door. And I don't mean that like a metaphor. I mean, literally close the door. I mean, you may love working in your living room, on the couch. Maybe it's big and got good lighting or whatever. But if you really want to be focused, then you have to minimize distractions. And if you close your door, it's going to help with that just by default. And it also it signals to your brain that you mean business. It's sort of okay, I've closed the door now. Now let's get to business. It also signals to other people in your house that you are working. And so I would highly recommend that you close the door and that you have some sort of signal where people have to knock, or you put a sign on the door when you don't want to be disturbed, something like that. Now, the second one, I've mentioned this in a lot of different ways before, and that's to break things up into small pieces. A lot of people have said they call this find your frog, and take one tiny bite. And yeah, I'm not talking about frog legs, right? But your frog is another name for something that you just really don't want to do. Your most dreaded task. And usually that's the task that's really fueling your procrastination, because we're anxiously avoiding that task, either because we're overwhelmed, we're bored, we're scared of it because we don't know how to do it. It's intimidating to us. We don't know what to do next. So taking a bite means you're just looking for the easiest, smallest next step that you can take. Even if it's not really even the first step, but if it's something that's less overwhelming and you can do it, it sort of puts you in motion. Because usually motivation kicks in after you started a task, not before. So you can't just sit around and wait for motivation. That is not a good productivity strategy. You have to take action first, and then the feeling and the motivation follows. So again, motivation kicks in after you start a task, not before. So that can help you get back on track. So, let's say on your to-do list, rather than tackling, finish presentation, because that's big and maybe unmanageable, just say finish intro slide. Okay, you can do the intro slide, the title, your name, you can do that. But by doing that one tiny little action, it's like, I don't know, it's just something about, it's like a stone that starts to roll down the hill. It just gets some momentum and it gets faster as it goes. So, put on some music, or some noise canceling headphones, whatever you need, and get to work. Do that one tiny next step. Now, I've talked about Pomodoro method before, which I really do believe in, and I use myself. It's just a concentration hack that involves blocking things into, taking those little steps and blocking them into small concentrated work blocks with taking breaks in between. And if you want to know more about that, you can get in touch with me and I'll point you in the right direction. But there are some apps that are kind of fun for that. You can use a countdown timer, which is what I do. But I know that there are people who make it kind of fun. But it's a great tool to have in your toolbox. There's an app that every time you you do a Pomodoro session of like 20, 25 minutes, a little tree grows in this app. And so you can like get up to a certain amount and the company will actually plant a real tree. And so you can feel good about yourself because you're planting a tree. But apps give you that reward whenever you successfully focus for a period of time. So you can just do a Google search for Pomodoro or focus timer in any kind of app store and see what's out there. I read about a guy who was using an app that allowed him to be a ramen chef. So with every completed focus block, he got a bowl of ramen. I know it's weirdly motivating to be pursuing a digital ramen chef career, just doing his real life job, but whatever works, right? But the Pomodoro method is definitely helpful to keep you focused. Now, another tip is to mix up tasks. And I'm not telling you to multitask, but just mix up tasks. So maybe you might have heard people say, have 2 pots on the stove. So then when you get bored with one task, you can strategically procrastinate by switching to another task, something else that you need to do. And I think that this is a good strategy for ADHD because we love novelty and we do get bored easily. And so going back and forth between 2 or 3 tasks keeps you productive. And it keeps you from being bored because you kind of lose interest in the second thing. Then you go back to the first thing. It feels kind of novel again. For instance, if I'm doing like really deep concentration, creating content, writing, something like that, then I will set the timer, do like a Pomodoro, and then I'll get up and change the laundry. Like take the clothes out of the washer and put them in the dryer and set it, or take clothes out of the dryer and fold them. And it's a physical activity. It's not mental, and it needs to be done. So I'm being productive, but it's like a mental break from that concentration that I was trying to do. So mix up your tasks. And I mean, another thing that's just important is if you're already procrastinating, anticipate future obstacles. Do something helpful for future you. Try writing down every obstacle that you think you might encounter when you're trying to get a task done, and then brainstorm what you're going to do to avoid falling into that trap when you come up against that obstacle. So, for instance, many of my clients get sidetracked from social media. It's actually on purpose designed to pull our attention away. The algorithm's set up for that. But if a social media notification is going to derail you, I tell my clients to go put their phone in another room sometimes, or you can put it in airplane mode. Let's say you're going to want a snack in a little while. Well, go ahead and get that snack, portion controlled, and keep it on your desk before you even get started. So you're not tempted to get up in the middle of the 20-minute Pomodoro method. Session, not method. Now, movement is important for your brain and for focus. So schedule some movement sessions, 5 to 10 minutes. I think it's important when you take the break, when the timer goes off, and you're going to take your 5-minute break in between your 20-minute work sessions, physically get up, walk around your house, go get a drink of water, turn on some music, dance, jump around, walk from one end of your apartment to the other. Moving around really does get the blood flowing in your brain, and it makes it so much easier to focus. It boosts your focus and your energy. I like music. So music and moving around to music really does kind of lift my mood and sort of helps me to focus. Now, I can't have the music on while I'm trying to concentrate, especially if it has lyrics. But when I take my break, I like doing that. So now another tip, and I'm not into all this real weird woo-woo stuff, but I have found that a good stress reduction technique is deep breathing. So it's like deep from your diaphragm, your belly, anxiety and stress really build up when we're trying to concentrate, especially if we're trying to make ourselves do something we don't want to do. It just feels like this big wall, right? But there are lots of different breathing exercises. You can Google things like that. But what I do, and you can try this with me right now if you want to, is you just I do this 3 times. I just breathe in for 4 counts really slowly and breathe out for 4 counts. So I just stop what I'm doing. I feel myself tensing up. Well, first of all, I hunch up my shoulders and then I just let them drop. I had a voice teacher teach me that. And then you just breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready? And then let it out for 4. Now, you see how your heart rate kind of calmed down a little bit? That was just one cycle. All you got to do is do that 3 times. And you'd be amazed. It's like your brain just stops that spinning because when you have ADHD, your brain's going all the time, right? But there are a lot of different breathing exercises. I would definitely check those out because it does help with focus, kind of helps you chip away at that wall of being stuck, paralyzed or whatever. And when you think about momentum, sometimes we need momentum. And I said it, you got to start and then momentum comes. But once that does hit, kind of ride that wave. When you get momentum, it kind of helps you build up your confidence and it assures you that you're capable of getting all your stuff done. So it's like looking for the flow. Is there a task that you already know how to start and you're excited to tackle, and it uses a skill that you're really good at, that's really in your wheelhouse? It doesn't have to be the most urgent or important task either. Just get something off the back burner and get into the flow of doing things, because that can help when it's time to shift your attention to the more important stuff. And I always say, if you do have several things to do and one thing takes less than 2 minutes, then just do it right then. Don't write it down. Don't schedule it. Just do it. 2 minutes or less, just do it. And sometimes just doing the little 2-minute things gets you going. Another tip to just keep you focused is to write down why that task is meaningful to you. Like, why is it important? Why do you feel like you need to do this thing? So, I mean, and maybe even less than writing down why it's important, because sometimes that's even stressful. It's just write down why it's meaningful. I mean, it's obviously important or it wouldn't be stressing you out, right? But why is it meaningful to you? What does the completion of that task give you? And it could be as simple as just a sense of relief or accomplishment, or maybe it will help you advance in your career, or maybe help you make some money or develop a new skill. But what is the completion of the task give to others? Maybe it's a project that is really going to help other people. It's going to help make the world a better place or make your office a better place. Maybe it just makes things a little easier on your teammates. Or kind of selfishly, maybe it's a reason for your boss to give you praise at the next meeting, right? And I know there are some tasks that they just stink, right? And you can't really find much of a reason for it, and you really don't want to do it. And that's okay, because that is going to happen sometimes. But if you can, it's always good to keep your why in the front of your mind. All right, how are we doing? Another little tip. Let me see if anybody's commenting here. Hi. Somebody said hi. You guys are so quiet tonight. So if you are listening live, say hi in the chat of whatever platform you're watching on. And if you're watching the replay, let me know that as well. So a little game that I like to play sometimes when I'm trying to focus or get things done is I try to beat the clock. Like, how fast can I complete this task? That's way more fun than, Cindy, you better get this thing done. You crazy person, I mean, like me trying to force myself to do something, it never really works. So if you have a countdown timer or something like that, then that's awesome. And it may sound silly, but the point is just to get the thing done. So if you got to play a little game with yourself to get it done, then do that. Um, be kind to yourself. I know you hear that all the time, and that gets overused, and that's fine. I get it. It's annoying to be told to be nice to yourself. Like it's some platitude. It's going to magically fix everything, but it is not going to help you to not be nice to yourself. That is not going to help you. So, don't say things. What you say to yourself matters. Don't say things to yourself like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just get started on this? What is my problem? Like, why do I keep doing this to myself? Don't say those things. All of that is just blame and negativity on you. The truth is, focusing on a task is hard when you have ADHD. Working until completion is hard. And if you have ADHD, you definitely know this. Um, our brains are interesting, right? But self-blame is not going to help. It is better to say, I haven't started this yet, but I'm going to now. Or I've been struggling with this, but I'm getting better. You know, sometimes you're going to feel like you can really concentrate, and other times you're not. It can have as much to do with distractions or how much sleep you've had. But instead of, getting upset about it, just accept where you are and acknowledge today's a tough day. A little kindness goes a long way. Talk to yourself like you would a friend. If you talk to a friend the way you talk to yourself sometimes, would you still be friends? uh, think about that. So if you're struggling to concentrate, there's nothing wrong with you. It is not because you're lazy. It's not because you're hopeless or you don't have any skills. More than likely, you're just feeling stress. You're feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, or maybe tired. All of those things can interfere with your ability to finish what needs to get done. So you got to give yourself a break. Okay. Um, and like I said, take a break in between things. Really, literally take a break. Go get a snack, go walk around, go switch the laundry, whatever you need to do. But if you're tired, you're hungry, in the recovery community, they say, I can't remember all of them, but it's if you're tired, hungry, angry, that's when you're going to be more susceptible to relapse. Well, it's the same thing with concentration. If you're tired, you're hungry, it's not going to help you in the concentration department. It's not going to help your focus. So you got to be patient with yourself. You're doing the best you can. Look at where you were last month and where you are this month, or maybe last week even, and track your progress and celebrate your wins. Whether you feel like you're as productive as you want to be or not, that's not a measure of your worth. Okay. You're not worth less as a person if you're not productive. Now, this is from a productivity coach saying this. I'm all about productivity, but I want you to quit beating yourself up. If you want help with your productivity, I can definitely help you. And I would love for you to look into my coaching program because it really does change lives. But whether or not you get one thing done or 20 things done, you're still valuable as a person. So focus continues to be a challenge. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. I would love to help you, just any way that I can. It really does bring me joy to to help people get more productive, use their time better, get organized. So I hope these tips are helpful. Take one or two of them that um, that kind of jumped out, resonated with you, and put them into play and see what happens. So again, if you are not plugged in to a coaching program somewhere, reach out to me. I'd love to chat with you on Zoom and let you know what we're doing. It really is changing lives. And January is a great time to get involved. So I hope to talk to some of you. If you're watching the replay on this, make sure you let me know. And I hope you have a great rest of your Monday, a motivated Monday, marvelous Monday. And I will see you next time. Bye.